So at the moment, we've lost the game. KG, how did we lose?
Bro, we were outplayed, outfought. Tactics-wise, we were poor. I think Ollie made some bad decisions today. Do you know what I mean? I think we could see, do you know what it is? I think sometimes you got to be a bit more savagely with these players. When you can see something's not working, take them off. I don't think you should wait. A lot of managers are doing this thing when they're waiting for 60th minute to make that big change. We could see Arsenal were overrunning us in that midfield. And it's like, raw, we need to change it immediately. Change the system straight away. There's no point knowing all these systems and not being able to change something in-game, like quick in-game management. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing that the Ollie out was accused him of not being able to do in terms of tactically being ready in these moments. I think it was a culmination of mistakes, but definitely I would say it's not nice. It's not nice losing to Arsenal. That's the truth of it. I think I'm not gonna go over the top though. I think we got to get, for me personally, and I can only speak for me. I can't speak for anyone else, but we got bossed by El Nene, Party. I can't remember who else they had in midfield. Who else did they have in that?
Well, they had two midfielders.
That's the main one. Two.
Oh my God! So we got bossed by a two-man midfield, and then gutted. It was gutting. Do you know what I mean? And I think Lacazette, because Lacazette plays centrally, right?
Lacazette played
but then he was helping. He was so involved in that. Lacazette was helping within that midfield battle as well. He was coming back and just taking it. Bro, we got scored today. That's it. That's the bottom line. There's no way to break it down. We got scored by Arteta won. Arteta won the battle. So yeah.
Neji, Ollie's been schooled. KG saying schooled by Arteta, and this is a manager that we all believe in. Not all, but a lot of people believe in. It's come to that game, big game, and he's been tactically outdone. We've all said, a lot of people have said, go with the diamonds. Yeah, I'm gonna own that. I'm gonna hold that L. I said that was the best. That was the best to play, and I said it's on the players now. Ollie's put the team out. Yes, correct. You can argue maybe McTominay. Not for Matic, cool. But where did it all go wrong? Because like KG's kind of bringing it to Ollie there, saying you got out.
I'm an Ollie advocate for the rebuild only. For those that don't know me, I've always been Ollie for the rebuild, not Ollie forever. But today, bro, I'll be honest, started positively because I saw the diamond, and I thought, okay, we're gonna work with it. Then I saw McTominay play, and I thought, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at them players, and I think who can pass the ball great. Remember when I said to you last fan cam, we played that diamond at Leipzig. I said against Arsenal, you're going to need players when you're being pressed in midfield who can hold the ball up and distribute it out to the front midfielders and attackers. You're going to need that. Van der Beek gives you that. For my life, I've never ever in my life witnessed McTominay make so many backwards passes and sideways passes. To give it to Lindelof, who's then doing all this with his hands, as if to say, yeah, you go there. I don't know what he's doing. Just pass the ball, please. It's basics.
But let's be consistent with this stuff, though, because it's not just McTominay. Today,
KG, everyone's getting
a lot. That whole midfield was embarrassing.
KG, on a serious, everyone's getting it. But I'm talking from the minute off. From the minute go, these are the first things I'm seeing. Remember, before the game, So from the start of the game, I'm thinking raw. So sorry for those who are watching, but just to be clear, I'm talking about start of the game. These are the first people I'm picking up on. Lindelof, McTominay. As the game progressed, you start seeing Pogba mess up. You start seeing Bissaka hold the ball and just struggle. Then you start seeing this backwards passing side. No creativity. Then I'm seeing Gabriel on the ball. I'm thinking, right, he can actually play a forward pass. I believe there's only one or two passes that went forward from centre back through to the midfield to our creative players. And when it did, and Greenwood had to hold and control the ball, he got bullied. Couldn't control the ball, couldn't trap it. Greenwood was all of this going backwards. So for me, as a whole, Ollie got it wrong with the play. First of all, foremost, the players he's picked, and more time, he should not be starting, in my opinion, McTominay and Fred together in that diamond. Arsenal were there for the taking. Can we just remember that? We know there's a reason they were there for the taking. We 100% know this.
Away, man.
Dominic, bro, this was a bitter pill to take, and you know what? We have to own stuff as fans. It's not always about coming on and going, what the fuck?
No.
Yeah.
But we're pissed off.
Yeah,
it hurts. And you know what? I feel like, I know what you feel like. I'm going to ask you this. I feel like, I don't know what, now I've gone back to not knowing what the hell our best formation is, what the hell the best players to use are. Was it our fault for kind of saying, yeah, Diamond has fixed this, when really our manager doesn't know. He doesn't know.
You know what it is, man? Like, and I was just saying before we came on, like, I don't like games on a Sunday because I got to go work tomorrow, right? Well, I got to walk downstairs, but it's still, it just makes me upset, man. Because I want to always talk football, okay? Ollie played the right formation, okay? Because last time we played these guys with the same formation, they still spanked us, right? He played the right formation, 100%, and that's my belief. But it was the wrong players, and I'll break it down why it was wrong players. In my head, I always think to myself, like when I bring up my son or I'm thinking about anybody when we're growing up, he said, when will they learn? When will they learn? You know, you try to drill into things so they remember and they grow up a nice person. You're like, remember to do this, look left and right when you're crossing the road. It's the basics. And after a while, it's entwined in them, right? They get it. With Ollie, Ollie's doing something where he's going from game to game, but he's not thinking and seeing what's happening in the previous game to use for this game, right? Let's break this down. Arsenal have a system. Their system is tight, right? People might say they play defensive. I don't give a monkeys, right? You can play defensive. If you win the game, I don't care, right? We know as fans that they play defensive and they have a system 3-5-3. Ollie will know that. I don't care. He's in the position where he's a manager of Manchester United. He's got teams. We've got a YouTube link, right? Like he's got teams behind him who are literally hired for this ability and for this thing. So if you look at the team, right, and you know that Arsenal like to play ball, no matter who the players are, they like to play ball. Why would you start Bruno, who literally pass completion rate is ridiculously bad? I mean, it's awful, right? You play Scott McTominay, who can never complete a pass, right? In this situation, to start at the beginning, you know the previous game where we won, right? People think we won because, oh yeah, we just had a good game. We won in sections. We won in thirds, right? We won the first time because we set up and we had people, Van der Beek and Matic, who were keeping the ball, just breaking them down, seeing what's happening, just laying the table. The second, third, then we start to play a bit more aggressive. We started to get like confident in our ball. We're keeping it, but they're not actually really scaring us. And the third half, we brought on people to affect the game. Rashford, they were tired. They didn't know what to do. They were like, okay, I've just got used to like them passing and playing. Now I've got to deal with Rashford, the direct ball, and then Bruno came on. Doesn't matter if you lose the ball now because we've got a system and a platform to play. We started this game wrong. We should have never, ever started McTominay. And we should have brought Bruno off the bench. I'm telling you right now, because if we got Van der Beek, whose mission it is to complete passes, we've got Matic, who is calm as you like. He needs to just complete passes. I tell you right now, the formation was right, Flex. I tell you, it was right.
So the personnel was wrong.
I don't think so. I
promise you. 1 second, KG, before we come back to you. Sensi, a lot of super chats coming in here. Sensi says, I know your heads must be, I know your heads must be head. Laugh my effing ass off. Talk on all that crap only to get dominated in your own yard. Hold that. Mickey Arteta's tricky. Disabled Gunners mark on. This is it, guys. We've got to hold it.
You can't believe someone. You can't believe someone called Sensei. Come on, Sensei. What is that?
I know. Brad Lewis says, I know I'm not allowed to call McTominay an oxygen thief, which you're not. That's 100% right. But he's so bad at the bigger issue of Ollie choosing him. Ollie has to go. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely not feeling the oxygen thief. It's just a bit extra. Basically, you don't think McTominay should play. Joshua Davila says, our players passed the ball to our opponents non-stop throughout the game. Our players were awful. And Ollie shouldn't have changed what worked and should have made changes sooner. Anthony Tracy says, Ollie played chess and lost. When counter-attacking good sides isn't working for Ollie, what's left? It's about mentality, not tactics and selection. Loads of super chats coming in here. Jay Boogie says, Bruno, McTominay and Fred were worse than Pogba. We'll talk about Pogba and what happened there. Vingdesh says, what the hell is going on at this football club? I really want to support the manager, but this player favoritism needs to stop. Scott on for 90 minutes. Van der Beek only on for 10 minutes. Why did he even come to Man United? Honestly, guys, it's really bleak, but we've got to get through these. Asset says we are giving Arsenal way too much credit. There would be difficult games like this, but you can't wait until 75 minutes to make a change. So people, again, Ollie should have made changes sooner. Another super chat here from Spencer says, Ollie needs to realize it's not about the heart, it's about the performance. I get players have bad games, but with the performance, even Fulham would have subbed Scott off. A lot of criticism on McTominay here. Johan says Mourinho said his best achievement with United was the second place finish. Maybe he's got a point when we got players this bad.
It's so annoying. Do you know what? It's just. Do you know what is pissing? Do you know what pisses me off the most? Yeah, I just think that we're like stupidly reactionary. I honestly feel that, and this is why I'm sitting here today, and I'm like, we lost. It sucks. We lost to Arsenal. It does. Do you know what I mean? My birthday, I'm supposed to be celebrating on Tuesday. We're getting into lockdown too. I'm not happy right now. But then it's like, raw, like, what do you want right now? Do you know what I mean? I want to know what everyone's asking for, if that makes sense, because it's gonna be
consistency. They're asking for consistency.
They are asking because I'm saying that okay, so because obviously today, a lot of people, the argument now is there's a lot of questions like, okay, Pogba out, McTominay out, who else they're saying out, Ollie out, all these players and stuff, and it's like, like we still need to be a level of realism today. Today, we was outworked and outperformed tactically. Do you see what I'm saying? Ollie has to go back to the drawing board and say, why did that happen? Do you know what I mean? But then we, in the same hand, we got to say to ourselves, there's been things that are encouraging. Do you see what I'm saying? There are things that and I understand, because sometimes when we look at how bad today was bad. Do you know what I mean? We can't shovel around it and change things, but it's like, like, there's little things bad. Yeah, because obviously tactically, I didn't like that we took so long to change things, but after half time, we came out and we looked better. Do you know what I mean? Was actually pressing, was actually now
only for like 5 minutes for KG.
Short while.
Back to 4-2-3-1, and this is my thing. I'm not being reactionary. I'm just putting across. Neji, this is KG made a good point. Gary Neville said it. He was like, Man United have gone back to their old shape. They look a little bit better, a little bit of intent. I think Wan-Bissaka got in when Tierney missed the header, and then you're thinking, all right, cool. There's been a reaction. Lasted 5 minutes. It lasted 5 minutes,
bro,
and then it was just so. There was just. It was like, okay, put Pogba on the left now. All right, put Rashford there. Okay, move Greenwood. Okay, leave Bruno on for ages. Like it stunk of desperation after a while.
Desperation.
Did Bruno? Let's be honest now. Did Bruno play good? Did Bruno play good?
The thing is, KG. The thing is, don't hear this, yeah. When the chips are down, yeah, you know, out of all 11, including the goalkeeper, one man in our team is gonna give it his all, no matter what, whether he messes up. That is Bruno Fernandes. When I'm seeing
today,
he was poor, bro. He was poor along with anyone. But you know what? I'd rather have someone who's poor who has the potential to grab a goal back than someone who's poor who can't pass. But
you know the problem is Bruno. You know the problem with Bruno though. I get this, and I'm not in any way reactionary either. Because KG, on your point, like I get it, and I'm not Ollie out in any way. But we're gonna have so many discussions where we win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. It's gonna go on for the rest of the year. And are you going to keep saying, "Oh, it's okay. We just got to take the positive thing"?
You know what?
It's one of those things where I think to myself, right? Bruno is a good player. We know that.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a team and a structure which enables people to play. Bruno is a good player. He is, but he doesn't enable the team to play. He's the one that's more of the spark and the little nice little peppercorn, salt, and everything. That's lovely. But the difference between him and Van der Beek tries to enable the team to play. It's a platform. It's the same with Matic. Scott McTominay doesn't enable the team to play. He's a barrier. Correct. He's running around. He's passing here, doing that. But Matic is saying, all right, I'm going to do my bit. I'm doing my bit. I'm going to pass it off. Van der Beek, I'm going to do my bit. I'm going to pass it off. The thing what we're doing wrong here and why I think it was the right formation is because I promise you right now, okay, hindsight's a beautiful thing. We're not flicking. But I promise you right now, if we had Van der Beek playing and Matic, it would have been a calmer game. Yeah. It would have been a calmer game because I tell you right now, the pass completion rate of those two would have been so much better than Bruno. The amount of times I looked at Bruno and said, Bruno, just pass it, just a little pass, please, just please for me. No, he just goes and hoofs it, does all these crazy. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, Bruno, just relax, brother.
Like, you know what? There was one stage, and this proves Bruno does it loads, and this isn't the bash Bruno section. Like, he's talking about
100.
what we're seeing, because you have to say it as it is,
Yeah.
There was a moment where I think we won it quick in midfield, and Bruno's about 30 yards out. All he has to do is keep the play moving.
Keep it moving.
Out to Wan-Bissaka.
That's it.
But this has to come down to Ollie.
30 yards, it hits off the defender's head. Yeah, we've got a corner, but it's the wrong decision. It didn't enable us to build
but
attack.
Flex, this is where it comes down to Ollie, because if you set the platform early where you can allow players to build their confidence as they're making those passes, as Dee was saying, that breeds confidence. And then the more confident you get, the more you build into that game.
Yeah.
If you're getting to 75th, 80th minute thinking, I need to find some magic, I need to do something. You've lost the game early. You got to come all the way back and go, right, have I got a platform for this team to build something off in the game? Can we get momentum? We had no momentum other than that 5 minutes that you mentioned already, Flex.
Yeah.
Beforehand. That's it.
Nothing.
So,
can I ask a question? 1 second. I just want to throw this in there because I just want to know what he's talking about. A guy called Hinnock Kiffle. He says KG's a hypocrite. I want to know. Talk to me. Let me understand how. Like, give me some more, because you know what the problem is. I almost tweeted this. I tweeted this almost at the end of the game, and I said I'm kind of in a weird place with this team in a sense, because you know when you back a manager for so long, and then you're swimming against the grain, and everyone's saying he's shit. So you're like no, and then you got the rose tinted on. You got the glasses on. Have you just got rose tinted glasses on, or because another manager? Basically, the point I'm making is, if it was another manager and we lost the row of games because someone showed me our games that we've lost this season, it doesn't look good. If that was another manager, would I take this? And the answer is no. Let me be honest with you. The answer is probably no. And am I lost in the whole? It's the legend of the club, and that was a real question. I sat down and I'm asking myself, because you can get into a place where you're like, I'm gonna defend this manager no matter what. You know, like how Ollie Outers gonna be. Like, no matter what win we get, they're like, he's shit. Even when we win or we have a good game. Do you see what I'm saying? And am I on the other end of that, arguing from the same point? And is it still a detriment to the club?
You kind of are.
This is it. This is a question. This is a real question. So
Mike Cass says, one sec, guys, let me get these super chats out. There's loads coming through. If you're just joining us, smash the like on the video, subscribe if you're new. And if you're an Arsenal fan who's just come to laugh, obviously you're not going to subscribe, and well done to you. Mike Cass says, KG, we are asking for more than 55 wins out of 100 games under Ollie. Get out of there, man. We are united. That's not okay. Adam says, games like today is why I'll never trust this fraud. Send him back to his level at Mulder. KG, you my guy, but you need to allow it today, man. Everyone pretty much coming.
This is coming freaking strong, reactionary.
It is. Zane Miassi says, Flex, it's party time. Listen, had a great game. We have to hold that. Can't say nothing about that. I'm glad.
I hate him.
Dan Middleton says, how are you guys going after Bruno? Question mark. What about McTominay? We did speak about McTominay. I don't know if you've just joined us late. Like I said, this wasn't the Bruno show and slate Bruno. He was one of many who had a poor game. We haven't even got onto Paul Pogba yet. We haven't really got into dissecting Ollie yet. There's loads more for us to talk about, Dan. So I appreciate that, bro. But I just think you've joined us at a different stage. Raul says Bruno didn't have a good game, but he also is not the one who gave away the pen against West Ham and Arsenal. Pogba's decision making is awful. Ollie out. Loads of Ollie out now, which we knew if we lost this game, this would happen. Ollie out is not reactionary. This is from Sean Thomas. Ollie out is not reactionary. There's no substance to this team. It's only vibes and inshallah. We're 15th in the table and you don't think we can end up in the bottom half. You're joking. Strong words there from Sean. And Vishal says, do you guys think we peaked too soon? The players looked exhausted after enjoying a brilliant stint in Europe. The mentality needs to be strong and switched on every single game. Vignesh says, what the hell? We've read that one already. And I think that would do us for now.
Flex, do you remember what I said on the previous show? I said to you, with this game,
Yeah.
I'm out in the middle like this. What's that, man? This is a different sort of game. When you're playing Champions League, it's a different aura. The music's playing. You're up for it. Everybody thought we're going to lose that game. Everybody thought. But when you go to Arsenal, again, I said to you before, it's a banana skin because you start thinking about they beat us last time. Arteta and Oli like match up. Who's better? It just came down to the players we played and how we went about it. That's it. Look, we can get better, 100%, but we're also going to get worse too. So who's got the answer? Who's got the answer?
I really don't know. Jonathan says might be the best thing to happen to us. This game showed all our problems that were covered up by our Champions League wins. No tactic, Correct. No identity. Address the problems now or get used to this. Oli gonna freestyle.
Can I just mention on the tactics? Obviously, I've always sided with people who go Oli Gunnar Solskjaer for his tactics, and for the first time now, I'm looking at it thinking, okay, he's played a 4-2-3-1. He's played the diamond. You know, he's played 4-3-3 at times. And he's played 5 at the back. It seems to be when we go against teams that just don't actually press us, he doesn't actually have an idea. And no matter what formation we play, I agree with Dom again today. I feel like we would have had a better result in terms of performance-wise, if we'd have played Van de Beek because the midfield would have looked a hell of a lot better. But he didn't progress that way at all. So again, Ollie's got to look at his team selections. However, it's seeming that teams that don't really want to press or want to go for the counter, Ollie's got nothing at the moment. That's quite worrying to me now. That is quite worrying. But then again, there's other factors that I've got to put in place before I actually go. It's based on tactics, because if all the players bang today, if everyone was on form, if everyone was doing their bits, would we really be having this discussion? Now, there's some managers out there and there's some fans out there who would be saying we are still having this discussion that his tactics were rubbish. Yeah, and that's if
they got a point. Well. Have they got a point with that? Do they have some substance in the arguments with that?
Are you asking me that? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
In a sense, yeah, but again, it's on expectations, because Manchester United fans, you know, when we're proud and loud, we're Man United, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the reality is, this Manchester United team is not the Man United that all us four know and what we grew up and loved on. Right now, the team's in a different state. Remember when I was saying to you last time about the club being in a position where, you know, Fergie was allowed to get it tactically wrong. Fergie was allowed to have players on the pitch and get it wrong, because we know next game it's blessed. We're not in that position no more, so everything is pressurized, everything is monitored. You know, from game to game, it's Ollie in, Ollie out, Ollie in, Ollie out. Yeah, the pressure is higher than it's ever been. So now it becomes down. It's more critical decisions, and this is where Ollie now needs to understand that you've got to be critical as well. You know, was it KG or Dom who was saying? I think it was KG who was saying, "I'm sorry, them players have to come off at halftime." Certain plays, you've got to go and chase that. Him doing that, again, it's hindsight, as my man said, but hindsight speaking, you're looking at it thinking, if you take McTominay, if that's the players people wanted off, McTominay off and bring Matic and Van de Beek on, that already is a wake-up call for the players for that half to go, raw. He wants to win. Let's go again. It's just that little switch in them. We haven't even got none of that at the moment. And this is where I'm saying Ollie is letting himself down for me.
I see what you're saying. Exilla says Ollie plays the team people want and loses, Ollie out. Ollie plays the team people don't like, Ollie wins, Ollie out. He's basically saying he can't win. Beecher says that was a poor result, poor tactics, poor substitution. Taking Bruno off was unforgivable. I don't think taking Bruno off was unforgivable. I thought he was pants. I thought he played awful. Van de Beek should have started. I hear that. There's no justification. And another super chat here from Shuravan says, manager was bad, no doubt, but is this the movie we have seen twice already? The cycle repeats, Glazers out. Fabian says, afternoon, good people right now. The worst thing is division, but Ollie's players positioning on the pitch and sub-selection is really killing us. Kings and Castle says, it's frustrating, but seems like Ollie is trying to get the balance right along with bringing players in between the quick successions of matches. Well, yeah, it looks confused. It looks like we don't know whether we're coming or going in terms of the formation. And Jonathan says, might be the best. I know we've said that already. Yeah, so apologies, guys. There's so many. I just want to clear this up before we move on. There's so many super chats coming in, guys. Yes. Sometimes it's impossible for me to get through every single one. I'm trying to get the boys' opinion as well, and I don't want to keep breaking the flow of the show. So 100%, I will do my best to keep the respect on the super chats as well. And like KG says, the people in the free seats as well. Let's go to the free seats. This is
what a surprise.
Ollie out. Gunners Forever says Flex. You didn't think Partey could make to the combined 11, but he bossed the midfield.
Partey was different.
Partey was a different gravy, bro.
And to be honest, the reason why I said he didn't make it was because Fred was in form and Partey only played one game.
Did you see that pass from Partey?
Yeah, brilliant.
When he caught it.
It was different.
We ain't got that.
It was different.
So he listen. Gunners Forever, fair play. I can't say anything about that. You're right. He ran the show. Probably man of the match, if not El Neni. To be fair, he also ran the show. Aditya says that just shows you where we're at. Aditya says any midfielder knows that the negative slow passes in this invites the press. Bruno wasn't great, but he knew the space was in behind, which is why he risked it. KG,
bro,
and all the boys as well, because you know what, KG. Sometimes things happen, and you.
Someone said KG has small club mentality.
They're going for you, KG, man.
They're on me. They're on me.
You got to own, like you're never going to shy away from people coming at you and saying, "Nah, KG, not this time."
Yeah.
One, can you see the frustration that you can't? Maybe they're saying you can't just go. You know, it's fine, it's cool.
Yeah.
Secondly, the Paul Pogba situation. For me, liability playing left wing.
Bro, I'm asking myself. Do you know what's funny? I'll just clear out two things. So, and I know people accuse Ollie of doing it as well. People like stop smiling. Yeah, I can't help it. That's just what I do. I will smile even when I'm vexed. Yeah, I got high cheekbones, bro. It's just my nature. So you just have to firm it, fam. I'm hurting. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm not even wearing the condom hat today. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into what's going on. I'm asking myself a lot of questions about the team, and I remember the interview that you did. You lot sat down with Robbie the other day, and he's like, "You've got a good team. How many more players do you need? And should your manager be getting more from the players?" These are questions I haven't really. I've heard it's a rival fan saying it, but I've never really asked myself this question. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I remember this. The funny thing is, I'm so nailed to the Ollie situation. I know that I'm not really looking at it totally objectively, because I remember when we was here with Mourinho, and I was like, another manager will get more from these players. You see what I'm saying? So this is the position that I'm in right now. I am asking myself, is this guy gonna take us to where we need to go to next? That's a real question. Do you know what I'm saying?
Can you answer that?
Huh?
Can you answer that? It's a question that you're asking out loud. But if it was just you in a room talking to yourself and you're saying, KG, do you believe that this guy is, can take us X, Y, Z? What would you say to yourself?
Be honest, KG. Be honest, man.
Being honest, I honestly feel that our team right now, we could do something in the cup games. I honestly feel we need a cup, and I think that he could win us a cup. Honestly,
is that an excuse?
But then the reason why I say a cup is because the cup might breach some confidence. However, the other side of it, when I really look at it, I'm saying that's the level of inconsistency is a bit disgusting.
Yeah.
The level of inconsistency is disgusting. Like where we are in the league is not right.
You know what, KG? Let's talk about that actually, right?
Yeah.
And someone said, Martial changed the game 100%. No one was holding up the ball, allowing the play to come on and give people time to make space, make gaps. 100%, but you can't base on that. We've got good enough players. So if you look at where we are right now, okay, we are 15th in the league, right? We're 9 points behind Liverpool. Okay, I don't care about game in hand because it doesn't matter. You've got to win it, right? It means nothing. Correct. So if we're talking about football, we are not in a good position. And what happens is, right, say you've got someone who's building and we're playing good football, we lose, so forth. Because this, technically, guys, this was a 0-0 game. It was a penalty. It was a 0-0 game written all over it. And unfortunately, Day Longlegs came out and did it. He said it before. It happens, right? But if you look at the grand scheme of things, if we keep losing and then winning, keep losing, but we're playing a brand of football where we see it and it's consistent, then people will be like, okay, you know what, we'll give him a bit of grace. The problem is that we keep changing our tactics, change the way we play, and that's what's confusing people. So when you've got the Ollie out crew and the Ollie in crew, they're confused too because we're 15th, right? Manchester United, even when we're having bad times, should never be 15th. I don't care how early it is. We are playing bad football. And the problem is now, doesn't matter about Champions League, Istanbul, whatever. If we lose our next league game, what's going to happen now?
That's the key there.
Are we home or away again?
Away.
Okay.
Against Everton.
Oh wow.
You know, Ollie's got that thing, yeah, where he whenever he's he's on the door of being in trouble, he just escapes. Literally, like he always. And this is to answer your question.
There's no consistency there.
To answer your question, answer your question, because I'm thinking as we're in here, I'm thinking it through. He probably isn't. To answer the question. He probably isn't.
Right.
But
So
if he's not,
yeah, because Robbie stuck this one on me, so I'll stick it on you.
Yeah.
If he's not, what do we want then? What do we? If we all think, I'm not saying we all do. I'm just saying if we think he's not, like Neji
expectations,
says,
bro.
Ollie not forever, Ollie for the rebuild. He says that, and I see that. And I'm not trying to put Ollie out. I'm just bringing that argument to the table. If you feel, KG, that he's not the guy, I don't see it. I see us having some good results and then some bad, but no progress. What is it then? What are you getting out of it?
I think what he has provided us is stability and a place to build from. 100%. He's settled the ship, and I think that's
he's telling you to tie it. That's deep, man. That's deep.
But then you know what? I can understand when I get people frustrated with how I'm seeing things, but literally, again, there's just fandom at the same time. So when I'm looking at Ollie, it's hard to look at Ollie, and I'm just talking for myself. It's hard to look at Ollie and not think of that. It's hard to look because anyone else, I'm gone. This nonsense, 15th, I'm screaming like everyone else is.
Exactly. If this was LVG, you'll be like,
I'm going mad. You've seen me go mad. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about this, and I don't know if it's been to this thing of backing this person so much that now I just want to stay here. I want to live here. But then,
no, but you're backing him for the right reasons. I believe it because sorry to cut you, but I have to throw it in there, bro. As I said before, Ollie's made us feel a type of way that we haven't been able to feel a long time ago, whether you like it or not. So that's stored in you now, which is give you hope and faith. But because it's being tarnished by his tactics that are so detrimental, it's then having that reverse factor on it. Yeah, that's why I said to Flex, he just echoed it. I say Ollie for the rebuild because every time we win or lose, most fans I'm seeing, in my opinion, are losing sight of what we still need to be and where we are. The reality is this team needs rebuilding, and I'm not saying Ollie's tactics are going to work 100%. They aren't, and I don't think they are good enough. I'm not saying they're rubbish because quite clearly he's got tactics. So let's not get into that conversation. However, his tactics are limited by certain players that he has. Now, this is again hindsight again. If you put a left-sided centre back in that team where Maguire was, when I'm seeing him having to switch on his right foot when he's in the left-hand position, those little things there, if you just show up those little areas, a CDM who can play with both feet, move it out there and complete passes, the basics, as Dominic was saying, the basics, then this result today may have been slightly different. Now, that doesn't excuse Ollie for leaving McTominay on. It doesn't. This is what I'm saying. Ollie does shoot himself in the foot with his inconsistencies and his lack of, in my opinion, lack of managerial experience with big players. But again, he has to do a rebuild, and this is why we're doing a rebuild, because when we're winning, it's all blessed, it's all great. We can say, oh, Fred was amazing. He was. We did it last fan camp. Blessed. But when we lose, we highlight everything that Ollie's been trying to change anyway.
And AG, on that as well, I think it just needs to be a reality check. This is going to keep happening every single game. We're going to come on. I'm going to turn the thermostat on. Kane's going to drop bombs, right? He's going to drop bombs. We're going to have party ringers, whatever. It's going to be amazing, right? And then we're going to lose again. I'm going to talk about what he's done wrong. The fact of the matter, what stays consistent, and I'm not Ollie out, I'm not anything like that. I just want my team to do well. What's going to happen is that, unfortunately, at some point, he's either going to walk away or he's going to get sacked. And that's a fact, right? Because there's no way we can keep getting performing like this. Other managers have left for less, right? But what we need to do is enjoy what he's trying to do with the team harmony, getting rid of the players that are not good for the club, right? That could have never happened without Ollie because he's doing different things. But I'm just like AG. I don't think he's the man to get us to the league, but I think he's the man to put us in a better place for someone else. That's how I feel.
That's real.
Connor Patrick says, I went to see United back in February. I hated seeing Ollie sit down while Phelan spent more time in the technical area. He should be up shouting. Brian says, do we realise that we are 18th based on home form, having played more games than Burnley and Fulham, with a goal difference of -8? Obviously not good.
Disgusting.
Chinmay says, Jim Nake says, Ollie on the wheels, reactionary, random. Win, don't make us a big club. That's what the board wants. Fan shielding a mediocre manager. Flex, how much more will you give him? And do you believe he's going to win anything? If not, why is Ollie in?
Can I ask a question, Flex?
You've got to be quick because we've got to get...
What do you lot think then? Actually, Flex, what do you think? Should he be here, bro? The same question you asked me. Is he the man right now? What's your thoughts?
Yasser said the thing with Ollie, I will answer that. I will answer that straight away. The thing with Ollie is he's not good enough right now, but he could eventually be good enough. I don't know if that makes sense. I think that's where KG lies with it. Yeah. I think look, it would send us into turmoil especially before this game to have sacked Ollie. Like, it hasn't got to the stage yet of the instant pull the trigger. I don't see that. I feel like I said it. He upheld his end of the bargain, which was finish as high as you can with this team. We finished the highest you could get. Could we finish higher than City? No. Could we finish higher than Liverpool? No. We got third. Yes, in the bigger context, 66 points that year and 66 points the year before shows the league was crap. But it was crap for everyone. And we were at 14 points behind Chelsea at one point with not much chance of top 4. Then Bruno came in. But you can't, or I won't, you can't just not look at the whole thing and think, is progress really progress if you're just going left, middle, right, middle, left? Like, you're not going you're not going too far in any direction. You're really kind of staying still. Like, if you actually, the more I'm trying to deep it, I'm like, I don't know if the progress I thought we was making is as great as I thought it was. Ollie has steadied the ship. Hold on. Ollie has steadied the ship, but maybe is
you can't drive it.
Can't drive it.
You can steady it, but you got to sail. Right, I got to get the next set of guests in. Dom, I would normally ask for a man of the match, but
there's no point, bro.
Don't ask me.
Neji, I would ask for a man of the match, but we can't.
De Gea.
Nah, come on, man.
Pretty much in it, guys. We go again against Istanbul in the Champions League away from home, and we're going to bring in Xander and Cam now. So, guys, big up yourselves for joining us, man.
Love and blessings, man.
Well done, man.
Love and blessings, Kings.
All right. Peace. Let's, fellas. This bad.
Yeah, wait. So I was going to ask you, because you see that, you say left, right type thing. But then what about the Champions League form and how we played there and how we're going forward? Isn't that something?
I think what it is, I think those games just suit us. I think the games suit us. I think the games suit. I'm not taking away those results because I thought they were fantastic results as well. And we'll bring Cam into this and we'll bring Xander into this. Welcome, guys. Obviously, bad evening, banter on us, whatever you want to call it, bad loss. But I'm not going to sit here and do that thing of those results weren't good results. Leipzig, we played really well. PSG, we played really well. I just think those types of games we're actually more suited to. As soon as a team comes and doesn't play expansive against us and has a clear plan, the evidence is there. I'm seeing us struggle. Cam, from a tactical point of view, we knew that Arsenal would play in that way. We knew how they would set up. I was happy with the diamond. I don't know if you was, but from a tactical point of view, where did it go wrong today for you?
I mean, looking back at the previous games, we're seeing the same thing happen again and again. Like the same problems, the same things we're bad at. When they get exposed, we struggle. And when teams don't expose them, we're perfectly fine. So in the Champions League, we didn't have really too many problems because we weren't pressed too high, too aggressively. Against Leipzig, they pressed us, but they weren't hunting the ball. They sat off a few yards deeper and let us play around them. So we were able to be patient there and get the ball through. But today we really struggled in the press. We couldn't play out from the back, and it's the same thing every single time. So whether it's a diamond, a 4-2-3-1, whatever, that's the most basic principle that Ole hasn't worked on yet. We've had the same problems for so long, but he's not fixed them. And so, I mean, when we have the chance to play the way Ole wants us to play, great. But you don't get that in every game. We need Ole to work on that on the training ground. So, yeah, playing out from the back is where we're really struggling right now.
Xander, I know listen, I don't even really want to get into this. Oh, so do you think, you know, the Ollie? And it's not about that. I just want to say, from a tactical point of view, Sander, where Cam's saying basically we just struggle against a press. We struggle against teams who really put us under. Can you see why we're struggling with that? And are we making, like you heard me say before you just came in, I'm asking myself, and I think it's going to be something I'm going to think about over the next few days, is the progress we've been making as big as we think it actually is? Or is this just reactionary FC, which is something you hate to see?
Well, the thing is, it's difficult to call progress mid-season because as we saw with last season, I don't know if my Wi-Fi's going. No, okay. And as we saw with last season, you know, around December time and that tough period that we had, we all would have thought that Ollie's right was on the wall and he was going to get sacked. But then we go on and finish third. And, you know, as you said before I joined, that was par or that was good for Ollie last season because we had the third best team, probably, maybe the fourth best team, and we finished third. So that was good. So I don't really like to call the level of progression now because seasons ebb and flow. It's going to get better. It's going to get a little bit worse at times as well. I think I see enough there from Ollie. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough today. I think he got outdone, let's say probably tactically by Arteta as well. Arteta got it spot on. Absolutely, you know, they never looked too threatening going forward, but we really didn't look that threatening going forward. They just held us at bay and were looking to pick us off. And so, wasn't good enough. But that doesn't mean that you call for a head. And so, listen, I hope that we can pick up a couple points here and there and just kick on. But I did say it to my mate. What's it? 7 points after 6 games, I think it is awful, like really bad, isn't it? 7 points after the first 6 games is really bad. So he's going to have to make something happen soon if he wants to keep his job. Not from my point of view, but you know, you can't if this run of form continues and this sort of goes out throughout the season, this level of points to games ratio, he's going to get sacked, isn't he?
Afik says, if Ollie left, is Poch really the guy to lift the club, or just like needing the right profile of players, we need a manager that fits the mentality and philosophy? How can Ollie rebuild if he's not backed?
And there you go. That's it right there.
But you see this
though.
No,
I'm not going to say that. So obviously, I know the point is because even when Robbie was talking, he said, "But we got these money, we got this player, we got this player, we got this player." I understand that. However, there's still. That can still count. Whenever a new manager that comes in is going to say, I want players to fit my system, period. So when we had, when LBG stepped in, he made changes. Mourinho stepped in, he sold all of LBG's players bar Martial. Yeah, and then this is what's going to happen. The new manager is going to come in and say, hey, well, especially if we don't even go for an attacking type coach. If people are saying they want, I see Allegri in the comment section.
Oh, it's right.
And they don't make no sense because, okay, what do you lot want then? Because if you lot want Allegri style of football, it's different. We can't have those players here. So then after what kind of, when we talk about director of football and when it comes down to what this club's been doing, people will never take that into consideration. We needed anyone that comes into this team, whoever you want, is going to have to change things. He's not going to come in and say, I'm playing all those players that are here. Yeah. The only one that would probably be a bit more excited and might work with it is the whole Pochettino thing. But we don't even know what type of Poch we might get.
Mate. Yeah, and it's so easy for people to say. The reason people say Allegri or Simeone is because the grass is always greener in people's minds. You know, Harry Maguire isn't doing well. Let's get Smalling in. Do you know when he was still at the club, etc., etc. And so it's the same with Allegri and Pochettino and the likes. I'm not saying that Pochettino wouldn't come in and do a good job, but I do think that it's too easy at times to say get someone else in.
No, we didn't need a play. We need a if you're gonna to move on. You want somebody that is going to play a style of football that suits the club going forward. Like, this is the way the team wants to play and find that type of coach. So I wouldn't say, the next one is Allegri. It's just a defensive coach again. I wouldn't want that. You want to see the team go forward. Now, I understand that it's mad. Poch is even doing Sky Sports tomorrow. There was an advert between our
he's not doing it anymore.
Oh, no?
No, he is doing it.
No, he is doing that. That's what I'm saying.
What's that going to look like now? What's that going to look like now?
There you go. Now, the questions will be asked, and the killer is Poch is waiting for Ollie's demise. Yeah, and we won't be able to stop it. Cam, none of us here will be able to stop it. If Ollie doesn't get the results, he gets fired. It's simple as that. That's how simple it is. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So sad.
Let's talk about Ole's system for a second then. So his goal is 4-2-3-1. He seems to be playing it quite a lot lately, but we're missing the most basic parts of it. Like everyone knows, everyone's heard football, played football. You've heard things like you've heard the phrase "stretch the game," and you want to stretch the game by by spreading the play all over the pitch as much as you can. If you stretch the defense for the whole width of the pitch, you create spaces centrally, and when you've got intelligent players like Pogba, Van de Beek, Juan Mata, all that lot, Rashford, Fernandes, if you get them in central areas, in spaces, they can create chances. Where it's going wrong right now is we're stretching the game with our wingers because our fullbacks aren't going forward. And if you're stretching the game with wingers, then they're not getting into those important central areas. If you've got the likes of Mata, likes of Van de Beek, likes of Pogba today, and they're playing really wide, they're not getting into the central areas where they're effective. If we start stretching the game with our fullbacks, get the fullbacks higher up the pitch, then you've got spaces in the central areas for those really good, intelligent players. And then you can start to see Ole ball, the one-touch football, the nice quick combinations, the passing that we all like to see. But it's just not there at the moment because we're not doing the basics of stretching the play. So I don't know.
Can I ask you a question? How can it go so wrong? How can it go so well in midweek and then so wrong on the weekend? What do you guys think?
That don't make no sense.
I tell you, this is why I think that. Yeah, this goes back to what I was saying at the top before as you two came in. There's certain types of opposition that suit our current style of play. Somebody walking onto the park, dominating possession, being expansive against the players that we have suits us. It suits Rashford being able to turn on the brake. It suits Bruno picking it up on the half turn just inside his own half with space to clip it through to a Greenwood or a Rashford. It suits Fred, where the other team dominates possession when he can just run after them and try and snap their heels because that's his attribute. It doesn't suit our players on the ball and tactically, clearly, coaching-wise, when a team does what Arsenal just done to us and go, all right, cool. I tell you what, we're going to press you high up from your goal kick because we don't believe you're good enough to beat our press. We don't think you're drilled enough. And also, we don't think your individuals are good enough. I don't believe that Wan-Bissaka is going to have the feet or the idea to manufacture his way out of this and make a pass into midfield or whatever. I think he's going to clip it down the line. My centre-half's going to get it. I don't believe that Luke Shaw's going to do it. I don't believe that Maguire. They don't believe it. So to answer your question, Xander, I feel like our team is poised to play against a certain type of team. And when we don't play against that team, we see this because that's not luck now. Just the same way it's not luck that when we play against them other teams, we usually get a good result. When we play 5 at the back with the 2 up front, do you know what I mean? We normally get a decent result. So it's not luck. I'm seeing it consistently that actually when we play against teams with a high press, who have a good, strong idea, we struggle.
Look, Flax, you're completely right. It's the same thing every time. We can't play through teams. But then, that comes down to the coaching and the manager. But then also the players on the pitch, if we're consistently not able to play through and we're just losing the ball all the time, someone's got to have the brain at some point to be like, okay, well, how about we stop trying this? We just play a bit more direct, go a bit longer. There are a couple of nice long balls in that game up to Rashford. You know, Rashford's not the best in the air. But if they're pressing high and they get players forward, if you can win that knockdown, it doesn't even need to be Rashford that wins the first ball. If you've got players around that and who win the second ball, you're then beyond the press. You don't necessarily need to play through it. There's other ways around it. And the players have got to take some leadership themselves, take some responsibility. You know, if you're not able to play through the press, if it's not working, don't keep doing the same thing. Change it up a bit. Go more direct. Just be intelligent. So it's not just Ole. I mean, Ole's got to look at himself. Like, we're seeing the same problems we're playing out the back. But the players on the pitch, come on, take some responsibility. Change it up.
Dane Grayson says, Ole came in to steady the ship. It's now run aground and stuck in the mud. This club is a mess. Nagelsmann, for me, minus the Blazers.
Mate, the guys just been beaten 5-0 by Ole.
But see, this is what I mean. This is where it's weird, though.
Keep reading the
Forever Man United says, I love Ole so much, but I love the club more. We have to do what's right for the club. Ole has to go. Get Poch in, says Forever Man United. Another super chat here from Kovashen says, Ole can't figure out his midfield. We can't break through teams unless Bruno does well. Ole doesn't drill good tactics into that midfield. That's Forever Man United. We've done that. And this is from Udit. Says, today's performance just shows how badly we are missing our number 9, Martial. What are your thoughts? We definitely did touch on that, Udit, in terms of Martial is the glue to our play. For sure. Tyrone says, ever since the Spurs game, Ole has been playing negatively for the first 2/3 of all our home games. Even the Leipzig game was similar. Difference is we scored 4 in the last 15 minutes. The Spurs game seems to be affecting him. And then we have another super chat. I just want to get these read out, so the floor's yours, guys. This is from Anthony Tracy. We don't have a number 8. Lots of 6s and 10s. We have no engine to dictate the tempo. And it's almost, in terms of dictating tempo, Matic is the closest thing we have to that, which he isn't combative and he isn't quick, but he is the calmest person we have in that situation there. KG,
someone said it was a super chat, but I think you missed it. It was someone that said that you're getting so close to reading out their super chat, but I keep interrupting you all the time, and I owe them £20 or something. I don't know. It is what it is, but yeah, that's what I remember. Anyway, it's sad. I'm sad today. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you're so sad that you're not. I feel like with you today,
yeah,
you're so down from it that like I think you're just in a huh?
Hang on. Mate, Flex, you've just triggered something in my head. Okay, now that's KG, man. The guy's always cracking jokes, and look at him now. He's not cracked a joke since I've been here 15 minutes.
Bad, bro. I'm honestly to be honest, it's shit, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I'm never like this. I'm literally, I'm actually naturally, and I will be happy in later.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But it's sad because it's one of our rivals. It's a team that I hate to lose to, and it's making me almost wake up and smell the coffee. Some people will say, "Well done, KG." Like, you're finally looking at things properly. And a little part of me is like, this is really inconsistent form. You know what I mean? This is really inconsistent form, and it sucks. That's it. And but the part of me that is a fan is going to be like, I'll wake up tomorrow, like, we can do it. This is how I'm wired. Again, this is just me. And it could be a flaw in my personality. I don't know, but it's just who I am. So that is it.
I'll be honest with you. I've got this. These forums are made to be honest, right? And I don't know whether it's my team in the NFL it's halftime right now. So I don't know whether it's my attention has shifted onto that or whatever. But I'm actually a bit numb. Like I'm a bit like fuck it, whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't know. You guys know I'm a passionate guy. You know, I love United and I love the football. But I'm a little bit like, what am I going to be wasting my time sitting here crying over that? Like, it's almost happened too many times for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm there now, and that is, some people would say, indicative of where Manchester United and not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are at the moment. So I don't know. I had to be honest. I'm so numb to it that I'm not that sad because
the players. But wait, this is what pisses me off the most. Yeah,
you are where I was.
Quality players. We're supposed to have quality. Yeah, when Pogba, all these players that we say we have, when do they come to the party? When do they do what they need to do? Because I saw Rashford holding up the ball today and trying to ting, and I saw who was good today. When we get into play, let's pretend to do a player ratings. Who was good today? Let's go. Anyone have an over 5 today?
Lindelof.
Lindelof. Who else?
That's it, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Rashford. Maybe Rashford, because I did like the way Rashford was trying to hold up the ball, but nobody. So when a team usually should be able to carry 3 players at least, yeah? And sometimes we get into this thing because the same players are going to be here. The players that we say, Pogba today done another slide tackle why would you do that? Because really and truly, as much as Arsenal were threatening, we were in control. We weren't in control. We was never in control. I mean, De Gea never looked like he had nothing to do. Basically, are you with me? So you say to yourself, wait, this whole team, who played good? And what can happen is a new man's going to come in, because Keane said it today. Keane said, where's the leaders? Yeah. And you start to ask yourself, what's going on? Where's leadership on the pitch? Yeah. Who's going to move? Who's going to do something? So we sometimes have to say to ourselves, there's other things to cuss. Now, I get the Ollie stuff. Shaw played good. I'll give that to him. Shaw played good. But what about the rest? And then what about we should have had the penalty today, but I can't argue because we've had penalties that shouldn't have been penalties, innit? So I let that one go. But then there were some decisions. Gabriel today even had a madness.
Sending off.
Gabriel should have been sent off. And the guy, it should have been a second yellow. I don't know why he stayed on the pitch. But again, arguing about referee decisions feels a bit childish because we've been here and we've had our chance in that. But I feel that some of these players, you should only allow 2 players to have a poor performance. The whole team was poor. The whole team got outworked. And who's to blame for that? Is that managerial or is that players? Should players look at themselves and say, I need
it's
to
both.
do
It's both, because really it's both, yeah. Because I did say, look, Ollie's put that team out there, he's put the diamond out. The players got to step up. Like, apart from McTominay, I'm not going to sit here. Apart from the McTominay for Matic, that was the only one where I was like, I would have probably gone with Matic, but it's for McTominay to disprove me. And yeah, I would have liked to see Tuanzebe, but if we're being honest with ourselves, it's null and void, that argument. We almost need to just leave that where it is, because he's not the main centre back. So I looked at it like, well, Ollie's put the players out there, and they've got to go and do the business, and they didn't do the business. There was a lot of individual errors, but partly you got to think to yourself, why is Paul Pogba playing on the actual left wing as a left winger? Why is he there?
The reason he's on the left wing is because we haven't got a fullback stretch in the game. And look, the reason we haven't got a fullback stretch in the game on the left, especially, is because we're having to fix our team around Harry Maguire because he's slow. So if Maguire's slow, you can't have your left back bombing on, because if the winger gets behind him, Maguire's then suddenly exposed, covering half the pitch. So if we want to play Alex Telles, you've got to drop Maguire, play Lindelof on the left side, and play Tuanzebe on the other side. So we've got to stop building our team around players with massive flaws, where we've got to have 5 other players covering for them, and start picking players who can actually help us win the game. So if you've got players like Pogba, he's not a winger. He wants to play further in field. So get someone who can go beyond him, overlap, and create the width around him. We've got that player, Alex Telles. Yeah, he's got COVID at the moment, but when he comes back, you've got to get the fullbacks higher. You've got to get the intelligent players closer in those central areas where they could score the most goals. Like, there's a zone just outside the edge of the penalty area. If you score, statistically, if you start an attack from that zone, which is where Pogba, Van de Beek, Fernandes should all be playing there. If you start an attack from that zone, you'll probably score. So there's something wrong clearly in the coaching. You need to get those sorts of players in those areas on the edge of the defence centrally, and you've got to get the fullbacks higher. Stop playing players like Maguire with massive weaknesses and start just doing things that make sense on the game plan. Create a game plan and go out to play that system. Don't just mix and match.
Vishal says, if we lose against Everton, we're in the relegation zone. Let that sink in. No excuses. We need to do better than that. Ricky said to me, right, and I know you guys might say, oh, here we go. I'm just hear me out on this, yeah? I said, Ricky, what would you do? He said, I'll play 4-4-2, pick a solid system, 4-4-2, and okay, maybe a 10, but that 10 is basically another number forward. And he's saying he would put Fred, McTominay and Matic, or McTominay and Fred, whichever two, as the 2 in midfield. He said right wing, he'd play Juan Mata, because he keeps the ball, he understands his positioning, and he uses the ball better than anyone else. He says he doesn't think Greenwood's quite there yet. He will be an amazing player, but right now, he doesn't affect the game enough, is what he said. Which
this is true.
This is actually true. It's true. I've said this about Mata already. I think he should be playing more. Intelligence.
Well, I don't know about Mata, but I do know about the Greenwood situation.
Right, but if you're saying you're not going to play Greenwood there, well, I wouldn't play Dan James there. I wouldn't put Rashford on the right. I think Mata is probably the best person in that position, or Van de Beek.
If you're playing Mata there, you've got to get the fullback bombing on so he can come in field and someone isn't following him.
100%, which is kind of what we did against Newcastle. Then he said he'd play, which I thought was interesting. Then he said he loves Martial. He's a great striker for us. You know what Ricky likes. He loves Martial. But he'd actually play him on the left because he would understand his positioning more and keeps the ball better than Rashford. And then he'd play Cavani up front and Van de Beek as the second striker. And he'd drop Bruno. He said what Bruno does, what Van de Beek does, is keep the ball ticking, allow others to play, keep it simple.
So who's our striker? Who's our main striker?
Cavani. He said he'd give Cavani a go. And if not,
he's dropping Rashford.
He said he'd drop Rashford. For players in place of players who keep the ball better and understand the game better, he said.
For me, this is linked to the point that I was saying earlier about me being a bit numb to it. But it's like, I know we should talk about it in a different way, but at what point, what can I do? What am I doing here? Fucking talking about it. Like what does, I don't matter. Do you know what I mean? I don't matter in the grand scheme of things.
No, you do matter. We all matter.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, I can lose my head, spitting everywhere, shouting, or I could be the best supporting fan here in my fucking living room. But what is that going to do? Ultimately, the destiny is in the hands of the board, in the hands of the manager, and the hands of the players. And if they're not up to it, I can scream and shout all I want, but the same thing is going to happen. And that's where my uninterested in it.
No, we're not asking that. I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying, oh, Xander, why are you not going mad? Or Xander,
no, not that. But I'm just saying
you're confused as to what you can actually do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel useless as a fan.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we all are as fans because we can't. I don't have a direct line to Ollie, and I can go, look, mate, this is what I think. Can you think you should change it? We all are helpless to that point,
and we don't know, and no one knows because I'm telling you right now, if we start, as much as people are saying Ricky can say what he wants to say about the team he wants to see, but I'm telling you right now, you see a week where we start Matic, McTominay, Mata, and Martial. Then Donny van der Beek and Cavani, the fans are going crazy.
Yeah,
the fans will go.
Would they? Okay, so let me ask you this: would they go crazy if they saw that team actually play well and dominate games, and then have the chance to start against the big teams and try and have some sort of system or pattern? Would they? Would they though?
Listen, because we were all saying this is so funny. Before this game started, it was like diamond.
Yeah, exactly.
Diamonds are forever.
Diamonds are forever. Then as soon as the game was getting moved to, I heard people like, yo, 14. I heard mad formations coming out from
exactly the same.
So, again,
Diamond didn't work.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do you know what I mean? And what Ollie has to do is get to drag up these players and say, yo, you man, I need some consistency. But Ollie needs to be ruthless himself because Ollie is behind this as well. Ollie, make the changes earlier. Now, I know that he's not trying to kill players, but I pull players off. If I'm seeing that you're not looking after the ball and doing what you need to be doing in this team, I'm not waiting for half-time, 60th minute. I'm saying, no. 30th minute, big man, it's not working. Come off, we're switching. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have to do that. It's a detriment to the player, but better for the team.
Look, the whole diamond thing, like it didn't work well because the midfield players weren't really suited to it. Like McTominay was constantly trying to play in the middle. He was trying to play the defensive midfield role, but he was out on the right. And every time, rather than, moving a little bit further up the pitch, there's an angle forwards, he's always just hiding just behind the Arsenal defender. Our back four were too flat, so you can't pass forwards. There's no width. So it's just the basics of the setup are wrong. So, I mean, if you want to play that system, fine, but at least execute it well. So between the coaching staff and the players, either the coaching staff aren't telling them what to do in training, or they've sprung this tactic on them just before the game, or the players aren't doing it right on the pitch. There's something really wrong there. So that really needs to change.
Some people are saying in the free seats, it's not the diamond's not the problem. It's actually Fred and McTominay in there.
Well, I mean, McTominay, he didn't know where to go. He was constantly too central. He was trying to come back and be in that defensive midfield role. What he needs to do is either go and stand 10 yards further up the pitch, and then you create a backward pressure on the press. If they're pressing, they've got to worry about what's behind them as well as what's in front of them. So they can't go press as high up and as quickly. So you've got to get him higher, or you've got to get him deeper and wider so Wan-Bissaka can push on and he can go into the wide areas. It's just basics, but it's just not happening. I don't know.
Guys, we're near the end of the show. I suppose with games, especially games like this that hurt, with games like this where you've got to take banner, with games like this you just didn't want to lose, it is about looking forward. Football comes thick and fast. Before you know it, it'll be Wednesday. We'll be away to Istanbul. And then before you know it, it'll be the weekend. And then we're back playing in the Premier League away to Everton in a tough game. Yeah, I don't care that they've lost their last few games. It's going to be a tough game. Going forward, Xander, to finish off from you, and then I'll come to you, Cam, and then we'll close out KG. Xander, what would you do next? Would you would you just leave that diamond? Would you go back to playing more reserved? What would you do?
Fuck knows me. I don't. Who knows, man? I don't know. What KG said is spot on. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's the same. It's the whole point I've been always saying about the grass is always greener, isn't it? In a fan's eyes. So you stick the volley and you're damned. You sack him and you get Pochettino in 3 years' time. We have this exact same conversation. Whatever it is, So I don't know. I don't really like the diamond at Man United. I prefer us to play with a little bit of width. I know that the width that we play with and the wingers that we play with aren't wingers. Do you know what I mean? So that's broken. But I don't really like the formation at United personally. But I don't know. I might go on loan as a fan. Look, that's what I might go on loan.
Well, your head's in NFL right now, isn't it? So
yeah, big time, mate.
Oh my God.
Cam, from a tactical point of view, not from a quarterback or wide receiver point of view, what would you do tactically going forward? Would you change anything? Would you change the personnel, the formation?
Well, you know what? The midfield, like the players we're having in that midfield has been up in the air for so long. Like after lockdown, we had a good spell with Pogba and Bruno in the team. They went well, and then it fizzled out. It's the same thing happening again now. So what I'd say, work out how you want them to play. If you want to create 1v1s out wide, fine. Get Rashford on the wing, get maybe Mason Greenwood on the other wing or Dan James. Whoever you want to do, just find a game plan, stick to it, and work out how to create chances that way. If you want to get your players in the middle and central areas, work out how to do that. Just find a game plan, whatever it is, and execute it well. Just whatever you want to do, just execute it well. That's the basics. I really don't care what Ollie says at this point. Just execute it well.
KG, what are you laughing at?
I'm sad. This is my tears, bro. Do you know what's nuts? And do you know why I'm sad? Yeah, it's like, obviously the free seats, they kicked my ass today. Still, they were on me like big time. I get it. I know I'm frustrating, man. It is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. I'm going to be here again on Tuesday, celebrating in sadness, but it is what it is. Listen, bottom line is, we lost today. Take our medicine. If Ollie continues this form, the board are going to act and people have what they want. Yeah, it is what it is. It's sad, but we just have to move on.
Milverton says, bless up yourself, Flex, Yardman ting. Bruno is on the bench watching McTominay play long balls in the box and trying to backheel passes to Pogba in the box, but people want to say, still say Ollie in. Hold that, Milverton. And the last one, Haydar says, literally 6 super chats not read. I apologize. Haydar. I'm reading it right now. I'm done, broke, and Ollie out. Let me put some respect on Haydar. And that's the worst one because I've read that one out. Haydar, apologies, bro. Apologies. Like I said, honestly, I wish you could see the screen that I can see right now. It's just lit up like a rainbow. There's colors everywhere. It gets difficult. Plus, the lads want to have their say as well, and I want to interact with as many of you guys at home. So I do apologize. That is just how the cookie crumbles. Ida says Ollie is a clueless manager. Xander and KG are deluded top Reds. The Champions League results don't matter because we're not good enough to win it.
Mate, me and KG just gonna have a good time. That's all I want to do is have a good time.
Yeah, people asking where the bombs. You think I'm bringing my sound machine for this shit? Hell no, bro.
Forget the bombs today. Like maybe we can drop the bombs in different chats that we're having with people.
I'm so sad.
But yeah,
we'll win the Champions League though.
Yeah. Listen, we've come to the end of the show, guys. Disappointing one. If you know an Arsenal fan, block them.
Hey, they're all in my family as well. I can't avoid them.
Yeah, same. I think I've probably got to go over and do something on AFTV as well, which I'm not looking forward to. But at least we're not at the games where this would have been a lot worse. We're actually outside the Emirates right now, or outside Old Trafford.
Imagine sitting in East Stand next to fucking away fans, the banter you'd get, man.
Not
good
great.
luck, though. Good luck. I don't even envy you, bro. I'm sorry for you, man, because you gave it.
You have to go and hold. You have to go and hold the corner, as they say. Guys, thanks for watching. Terrible day at the office, but we go again on Wednesday night in Istanbul, where we can put ourselves in a really good position in the group, really. But as the last super chat said, they don't even think we're good enough to win it anyway. So hey, anyway, we move. We go again. Take care, people. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.